San Antonio College Radio. This is the Urban Suite. D Major, Cheryl Meadow, 5incarios in the studio. Twice the Power.
Yes.
How did the group form?
Okay, Twice the Power. Basically, we come out of the east side of San Antonio. I went to Sam Houston.
Word.
Straight out of Del Crest.
Okay.
Yeah, so shout out to Mr. IROC and Kid Ray, original members of Twice the Power, and of course me, the Wicked G. Like I said, we started way back in the late '80s, kind of like when these guys Too Hard to Hype were already doing stuff. We were trying to get on, things to do, shows, trying to do whatever we could, but we were still too immature or too. We really didn't have any of the connections that these guys had, but started back in the late 80s, early 90s. When we got our big break was 1993.
Okay.
We did a show at Club Spice. If anybody remembers that, Club Spice. Yeah, so back then we opened up for Johnny Z, Mr. Shaker Kulo, and he was, it was 1,000 plus, people there. So that was kind of our big break.
Yeah.
And we had our boy DJ Trini B, which was on 90.1 back in the day, and other promoters from all over Texas. So when we did our first show at Club Spice, it was just crazy because it was all new to us. Mm-hmm. We didn't have any connections. We didn't know who to talk to. Mm-hmm. And we get this one show, and now we have, we're on 90.1 with Trini B. Mm-hmm. He had a hip hop show on Saturdays. I think it was like from 11 to 2.
Shouts out to Trini B.
Yes. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed. We're getting calls from Austin, Dallas, the lowrider shows, doing other clubs. So, man, it was a good run. I mean, we had a good run.
My bad. Somebody was sending me a picture, and I was like, "What the?"
So we had a good run. I mean, we're doing anything and whatever we could. We had our first CD came out.
I don't know what. Hold on.
Turn your volume.
My phone's going off. I don't know why is it doing that. All right, I did it. All right, there you go.
So our first CD came out in 1995, which was called "Stepping Over the Edge."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were kind of one of like the first groups to have CD or any kind of material out. So we're doing shows with major artists, Cypress Hill, UGK.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of our biggest shows, UGK, at Imperial Ballroom.
Nice.
Callahan.
Right there off of Calabria.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Okay.
So I
That's
mean,
what's up.
we did have a good run. I mean, and shout out to these guys too, Too Hard to Hype, because I mean, if you think of 5incarios and you have Too Hard to Hype, you have Stigma, and then you have Twice the Power, and even the other guys that are not really doing the music, they still have our back. Mm-hmm. They still give their input and say, well, you should, maybe do this, do that. So they're still a part, of the whole group thing. So, shout outs to Mr. Poetry, Kid Ray, Mr. IROC. DJ M3 has a big part of it because he produced the majority of the album.
Wow.
For the one track Doodle, which is produced by DJ Fury out of Atlanta. So I don't know if y'all remember DJ Fury, but he had all them bass tapes and CDs back,
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the 80s, 90s, yeah. So shout outs to him. And I do want to give shout out to Jaime Vidal and Carlos Martinez for putting us on the cover of Street Talk magazine, because 5incarios is on the cover of this Street Talk, and it's about time we get recognition for a lot of the stuff that we did back in the days. And we also want to give shout out to all our fans, whether you were a Too Hard to Hype fan, a Stigma fan, a Twice the Power fan, but if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't keep going. You know what I mean? We probably would have called it quits back in the day. Hey, it ain't going nowhere. But and you know what? Funny thing is, that's how 5incarios formed. Mm-hmm. Was when one of the guys came up to me and said, "Hey, when y'all doing a new Twice the Power CD?" I said, "Man, we ain't doing nothing anymore. That's already done." So he says, "What if I get you a beat? I talked to DJ Fury. What if I get you a beat? And would y'all do it?" So I don't know. I got to hear the beat first. So he showed us the beat, and it was dope. You know, some of my guys in Twice Power didn't really want to jump on it. So, you know, I showed it to these guys and said, hey, let's get in the studio. Let's do it. Once we did that first track, Doodle, we showed Mondo. Mondo said, oh, what are y'all doing? Y'all doing music again? I got tracks for you. So then we started
He
jumping.
got tracks for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
That's how 5incarios came to be. And just to let everybody know, the word 5incarios, it's 2 words. It's cinco and it's sicario, which is a Spanish or Mexican hitman, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you've seen the movie. But there's 5 of us. There's 5 of us. So it's 5incarios,
Right.
like 5 hitmen making hits.
Yes.
Talking music hits, not
Yeah.
we're not offering anybody, but we're making music hits.
Well,
That's dope.
When you drop your tracks and you hit the stage, yeah.
Yeah.
And people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the name of our album. It's called The Hit List.
Dope.
Because, you know,
We're gonna get you.
How did it feel to even be back in the studio, behind the mic, working with people, making music, to get into that whole vibe again?
Man, I
I'm
mean,
gonna tell you, for me, it was weird because this cat named JC Flores, he dragged
Yes, shouts
me.
out to JC.
JC Flores dragged me out of the woodworks to do a song with him, and it was before these guys did Duro, and I'm gonna say about 2 or 3 years, and we did this track called Bum Bum, and it did well. It kind of gave me like some life, and then that's when, like I said, they did their track, and I heard us because they put it on Facebook. It's like, look what we're doing, and I'm like, what? Like I immediately called Mark, and I immediately called Eli. I said, hey, what are y'all doing? It's like, can I get on there? Can I, just make it hype? I don't want y'all to just put out anything. Y'all my boys. I ain't gonna let y'all look crazy. It's like I'm the hype man. And whatchamacallit, like I said, Duro is what set it off. And it felt good to be behind the studio, be back in the studio doing stuff. It's getting on the stages and so forth because everybody wants, certain artists to do certain things and whatnot. But we're not like that. When we're on stage, you're gonna be looking like, okay, what's this guy doing? How's he spitting? What's he doing? I mean, we're everywhere to where you're gonna get a show
Yeah.
all the time, And if I'm up there, it's gonna be animated for sure.
In fact, when we come back, we're going to talk about. You guys have a show due coming up pretty soon, right?
yeah,
It's possible.
yeah. We actually got a couple of shows, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we definitely want to talk about what you got coming up and any other music that you're currently working on as well.
Oh,
Stay tuned, y'all. We definitely got more coming up with 5incarios. In this block of music, we have a track from Apostle and some music from Spanish Fly as well. But let us go ahead and get into another track from 5incarios. This is El Borracho.
Cumbia.
Cumbia. Oh, all right. Let's go.
Keep it locked. More coming up, y'all. This is the Urban Suite KSYM San Antonio College Radio.